What if I told you about a ghost ship where the entire crew mysteriously died with terror frozen on their faces? Stay with me, because this is one story you won't want to miss. The Haunting Hour. Zombie ship, the biggest mystery of SS Ourang Medan. Here is your question. Related your story. What terrifying mystery surrounds the SS Ourang Medan and its crew? In 1947, a terrifying distress signal was broadcast from a mysterious location in the Indian Ocean. This signal was so eerie that it sent shivers down the spine of every captain who heard it across the world's major oceans: the Indian, Atlantic, Pacific, and Southern Oceans. Those who heard it knew something was terribly wrong. A distress signal, after all, is only sent when a ship is in extreme danger and lives are at stake. Many international ships and listening stations across countries like America, England, India, and China picked up the signal, and when they traced its source, the coordinates pointed toward the ship known as the SS Ourang Medan. The signal was horrifying in nature, and the message contained a Morse code that sent chills down their spine. It said, "All officers, including the captain, are dead. The crew is dead in the chart room and on the bridge. I die." These chilling words were followed by complete silence. This strange transmission spurred a US ship called the Silver Star, patrolling near the coast of Malaysia, to respond. After receiving the distress signal, the Silver Star began tracing the source of the call. Using the coordinates provided by other ships and listening stations, they narrowed down the location to a spot in the Strait of Malacca. The captain of the Silver Star, realizing the seriousness of the situation, made a bold decision. His crew would be the ones to investigate what had happened aboard the Ourang Medan. After hours of navigating through the sea, the crew of the Silver Star spotted a ship in the distance. It was drifting aimlessly, with no signs of life on board. The ship looked completely dead. Its engine had likely failed, leaving it to float along with the waves. The eerie sight of the ship, combined with the knowledge of the distress call, made the crew uneasy. The sun was setting, casting an even darker shadow over the already grim scene. As the Silver Star approached the Ourang Medan, the eerie silence surrounding the ship was unsettling. There was no response to any of their signals or attempts to communicate. No crew members were seen on deck, and no one came forward to ask for help. Typically, when a distress signal is sent, the crew would gather on the deck, waving their hands for rescue. But here, nothing, only silence. Despite the unsettling atmosphere, the captain of the Silver Star knew they had to board the Ourang Medan and investigate. His crew was hesitant, their legs shaking with fear, but they had no choice. Upon boarding, what they encountered was a horrifying sight. Dead bodies were strewn across the deck, including the captain of the Ourang Medan. But these deaths were not normal. The crew members were found lying on their backs, arms raised toward the sky, as if they were trying to fend off something unseen. Their faces were frozen in expressions of extreme terror, as though they had died in agonizing fear. Even more strangely, a dog was found among the dead, snarling with its teeth bared at the sky, as if growling at an unseen enemy. Its tongue had been bitten off. All the crew members shared the same death posture, looking upwards as though they had been trying to shield themselves from something. The atmosphere was thick with the stench of decaying bodies. The telegraph operator, who had sent the distress signal, was found slumped over his machine, his finger still resting on the key, as if he had died mid-transmission. The crew of the Silver Star was horrified, but pressed on with their investigation. When they entered the engine room, they expected it to be extremely hot, as it was a metal ship. Instead, the temperature was icy cold, as if someone had turned on a freezer. There too, the crew discovered more bodies, all in the same position, arms raised, eyes fixed upward, and mouths open, even though the ship had sent out its distress signal only hours earlier. The bodies were rapidly decomposing, much faster than was naturally possible. The eerie sight was unbearable, and the overwhelming smell of death made the crew want to flee immediately. Despite their fear, the Silver Star's captain made a decision. They would tow the Ourang Medan back to their home country, hoping that experts could figure out what had happened to its crew. They attached a tow line to the ship and began pulling it. However, as soon as they started towing, smoke began billowing out from the Ourang Medan. The crew of the Silver Star panicked and quickly cut the tow line, retreating to their own ship. Moments later, there was a massive explosion. The blast was so powerful that the Ourang Medan was lifted out of the water and shattered into pieces before sinking back into the ocean. The explosion was so immense that it sent shockwaves through the sea, and within moments the entire ship had disappeared beneath the waves, leaving no trace behind. The crew of the Silver Star was left stunned. They returned home to report what they had seen, but without any physical evidence, their story was met with disbelief. Some people believed it was just a sailor's tale, while others speculated that the Ourang Medan was carrying illegal cargo, such as nitroglycerin or potassium cyanide, which might explain the sudden explosion. The fact that there was no official record of the ship in local registries added to the mystery, leading many to believe that the Ourang Medan was involved in secret, illicit activities. Even today, the true cause of what happened aboard the SS Ourang Medan remains one of the most chilling maritime mysteries. Was it a chemical leak, a supernatural force, or something even more sinister? We may never know. Conclusion. The story of the SS Ourang Medan remains one of the most terrifying unsolved mysteries in maritime history. The strange distress signal, the gruesome sight of the dead crew, the unexplained explosion, and the lack of any concrete evidence have led to numerous theories and speculations. However, to this day, no one knows for sure what really happened aboard that doomed ship, leaving the mystery of the Ourang Medan to haunt the seas forever. The answer of the question is the crew of the SS. Ourang Medan was found dead, their faces frozen in terror, without any visible injuries, shortly after the ship mysteriously exploded and sank, leaving the cause of their horrifying deaths unknown, fueling theories of paranormal activity.